Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's operation day. I'm getting my veins stripped in my left leg. I've got varicose veins and I went with a soap, same as my head shave. If you've already watched the head shave, you know what it is, because I'm looking for some good vibrations. I'm not a religious man at all, so I'm not against religion, I'm just not religious. So I thought I'd go with something a little bit more sort of wordy with good vibrations. Now, this is made by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, Douglas Smythe. Now, this one is in the coke and butter formula, which I think is about the fourth oldest, I'm not sure. I think this was actually a Crown King formula to begin, or used to be a Crown King formula. But it looks like that, covered in foam, covered in lather, because I've just used it for my head. And the brush for today is this absolutely stunning envy shaped brush made by Nathan Clark over in the States. It's got abalone in the handle here, and he's made a beautiful sort of shimmering, I can never pick it up quite in the camera. No, this, you can see a little bit here where it's just shimmering a little bit, but you see it in person. It's got a 25mm black wool fan knot, and it is so soft. There's not a heap of backbone to it, it just displays very, very easily, but it's beautiful to use, especially on the face. So I'm just going to wet the knot, shake out the excess, and then go straight into the soap. Now, I'll be finishing off with a splash from CK6, from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements as well, the Good Vibration splash, which I've got loads left of. I love the scent on this stuff. It's just a beautiful, clean, crisp barbershop type scent. It is powdery, but it's got a lovely sort of amber note, some sort of sweetness through it. It's just stunning. And for me, probably my favourite barbershop scent. It's certainly better to my nose than Bar from Noble Otter, which I also really, really enjoy. And barbershop scents are a funny one for me, because when I got Seville, and I'm trying to think, the other one was Cad. This is far superior to the scent of Cad in my opinion. I absolutely love the scent on this, it's absolutely brilliant. Right, the brush is loaded. I'm just going to rinse the soap out now. Take a little bit longer because I've just used it for my head as well. I don't like having any lather on top of the soap, it really annoys me. I probably waste soap dissolving it away with the hot water, and I use hot water when I'm rinsing it because it just dissolves the bubbles easy of the lather. That is the soap there, whenever it's not covered in lather. I'll just tip that upside down and let that air out a little bit. And we'll throw this thing back up. Right. Yeah, so into hospital today. 2 nights in hospital. Just shaved my head, it feels incredible. Is that a bit hairy? It is just a little bit. Let's just attach that to the DE. So, you guys know what I mean, you shave your whole face of red and then you find something a couple of minutes later and you're like back in, shave, dry, and then you end up with a bit of irritation. Right, yeah, so I'm in for 2 nights. I go in today for the operation and then 2 more nights in the hospital. I'm looking forward to it because they are very unsightly, but they are starting to ache my legs. And in my job, I do a lot of standing and a lot of walking. I don't really sit down much at all. And there's nothing wrong with that, but when you've got varicose veins, it does ache, and it does become troublesome. And it's more so at the end of the shift, and when you get home it keeps you awake because it is aching all the time in bed. Right, I'm just going to dip the tips. Let's make this a special shave. Let's go all out and do my full painting technique. Well, technique. It's not really a technique, it's just the way I found it's a foolproof lather maker. And yes, it's time consuming, but I love to shave now, so the more time consuming, the longer I spend shaving, the better. So that is pretty much what I'm looking for. It looks shit, it looks like it's not going to be anything, and then this is where the magic happens. Just scoot that a little bit on there, spray the brush, and in no time you've got a voluminous lather. It's dense, creamy, glossy, and shaves superbly well. Now, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, this is the Crown King Cocoa Butter formula. It's absolutely brilliant. The post shave is excellent. The intra shave and creation of the lather is easy. Now, I believe Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, all of their soap bases are vegetal based or even vegan based. And as I'm finding more and more, and as each new iteration comes out from different companies, the vegetal bases are starting to come into their own, and they're starting to really compete and push, and in most cases now I find surpass tallow bases. There's one thing about I'm just adding little bits of water, dripping it into my brush now. One thing I've found about vegetal based soaps is that they lather easy. I just find they seem to lather up easier, they get more volume, they're very slick, they're easier to work with. I also find, not that it happens very often, they don't affect the scent of the soap either. Look at this. Right, I'm going to stick with it there. I don't think it needs really much more water. It could take a lot more water than this. But that is pretty much how I love it. Just stunning. Right, no feather today. I'm just going straight into it with the Carve Christopher Bradley razor, aluminium, with the B plate. I've got a Gillette Ruby blade in here. It's got about 7 shaves on it and it's still super smooth. I'm only keeping it in because it is exceptionally smooth and still getting me close shaves. So once it struggles, I'll whip it out. The blade, not myself. It's rinsing out pretty much perfectly. There's a little bit just in the bottom of that one, but that should be going now. There we go. I've been getting a lot of messages and comments about this aluminium one and why it's better. The reason why I prefer this over the brass and stainless is quite simply because it's light. It's really light, and I determine the pressure then. I push it as hard as I want. If I don't push it all, it does nothing. It just hooks on the hairs, so you've got to put pressure on with this. Actually feels a little bit strange doing my first pass with this razor, because I'm not used to doing this with the feather now, the chevet. Right, I'm just going to empty the sink because it's full of hair. I think I've got 2 days growth, might be 3. So as you can see, it's pretty much knocked it all down in one pass. It's not a good enough shave to last me a day or 2 in the hospital, but it's certainly good enough to walk out the door and be happy with it, for me at least. Now, residual slickness is excellent. As it is with pretty much every artisan now. Stunning. Right, across the grain. I've also, just as an update, I've been in touch with Sarah from the Swedish Witch. Now you guys know that her soap base took out my top soap of 2019 and continues to be my favourite soap base. Her online store isn't too far away. I will make it known whenever it opens. I'm sure if you head over to Facebook and Instagram and follow her at Swedish Witch, or like a page or whatever, I'm sure there'll be updates coming soon, hopefully, with when that's happening. Just going to add a little bit of water to this and just see what happens. Superb. And that scent, it's got great scent strength. Now, one thing I will say with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, I'm not sure what sort of, I don't know whether it's all essential oils or whether he uses synthetics. I think he does use synthetics as well. Don't quote me on that, because he is quite a sort of environmentally friendly type of guy, I believe. So there's a very good chance it is basically all essential oil based, which if it is, he gets phenomenal scents from them. Right, other way. But I don't react to these soap scents or bases. Just trying to get a little bit of against the grain going. Oh, got a little weeper there. I don't normally get a weeper there. Got someone ringing me. What a shave. Right. And that's pretty darn close. Just going to do around my lips, my chin. And you can see, even at a third pass, how dense this lather is. Now, I learned the hard way with my bottom lip, so I'm going, I've got a little weeper there, I think that's it. Going against the grain here. Now, while I've got soap on my razor, soap on my face and residual slickness, I can almost do it all day. But what I've found recently is I've been shaving up here and it's not been getting BBS, or it has, but I've not felt it. I'm feeling extra hair after the shave with my tongue or on my lip, and it annoys me. So I've been coming back to the razor dry, and I only do a couple of little touches with it and it gets BBS, but I find I get a rash on my lip. Now, right now, I don't have a rash and I don't get a rash. Doesn't matter how much I go over it, it doesn't seem to get one. Well, I don't honestly think I could have got a much better head and face shave pre-op than that. Everything just worked the way it should have. I've obviously got a couple of tiny little weepers, but other than that, quite a fair bit of against the grain, which is great. I'm getting better and better with that. I think the blade's helping, the soaps are definitely helping. Now, this brush takes a little bit of time to get it clean, because it's very soft, so the soap tends to sink to the bottom, and you've got to really work it back out again. Generally, once you shake it quite hard, and it goes back to looking like it sort of should. So there's still a little bit of soap in there. I think we should be good to go now. Flicking water everywhere, literally. It's going all over the mirror, everywhere. Right, let's give it a good towel. The good thing with synthetics is you can sort of bash them about a bit on the towel and give them a good smashing, and they don't generally lose any fibres. I can't honestly tell you that I've lost a fibre in this brush before. There's obviously something to do with the epoxy or the glue that they use and the plastic or the synthetic fibres that seem to hold so much better than natural hair brushes do in general. A natural hair brush, you will generally lose hair for its whole life. You lose one every sort of now and then, if it's a very good knot and well tied. Oh, it smells brilliant. Right, I'm going to finish off now. Give it a good shake. Actually, this is another thing. You don't generally have to shake Douglas Smythe's stuff. The blending machine that he uses, or however he does it, makes it one, so it never splits. You never get oil at the top and stuff here. The ingredients list on here, I don't even know if you can see it. Is it on the front? Yeah. There's not much in it, but it's got a great scent, and the properties afterwards, post shave, are excellent. Really, really good. So I'm just going to put a good splash in my hand there for my head. Oh, that scent. Oh. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then a good splash for the face. Over the arms. Oh wow. Oh, Jesus, it's absolutely superb. Yeah, I can't say really anything else other than that. From start to finish today, it's just been a great shave, head and face. So the soap for today, same as the splash, was Good Vibrations from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Boardwalk Barbershop scent. It's just stunning. And to be honest, it's one of those scents that I probably will keep in the den, and I will try and keep a hold of the splash at all times. If you made an EDT of this, I would actually wear it comfortably on a summer's day, because it smells absolutely beautiful. Oh, that kick of menthol, just brilliant. The brush for today was my Envy Shave Abalone 25mm Black Wolf fan, which, as you can see, it looks exactly as it did before I used it. That's what you want from your natural and your synthetic fibre brushes. Once they start splitting and getting big holes and stuff in them, a lot of it's down to leaving soap in the knot, so you're not rinsing your knot out enough. If you get all that soap out, I press hard. I press to the point where the knot is pretty much coming back on itself. So pressing hard doesn't damage the knot so much. It's not removing the soap and leaving the soap in there to harden and deform the bristles. So get the soap out and your knots will last a lot longer, and they'll look better for longer. The razor, pretty much like the leaf, not much more I can say about it. It is almost perfection, almost. I think once they get rid of these tabs and release a titanium version, I think it'll not get any better than that, for me personally at least. But obviously everyone's different. Things work for some people that don't for others. Aluminium works perfectly for me, whereas the brass and stainless I do struggle a little bit because of the weight, and having the aluminium really opened my eyes on that. But I was getting superb shades from the brass and the stainless as well. This is just better for me. And other than that, I'm off to the hospital in a couple of hours, and then Friday I'll come back out, and hopefully at some point I will do a post-op shave with a bit of an update on how everything went. Then again, this might be my last shaving video, in which case hopefully my wife or the kids put it up. Yeah. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll see you guys post-op. Cheers.